Hey, what's up? I just want to pop in with some inspiration, and so this one is just I want to first say that like all of us in this life, like we all got different like tasks and duties and like hard stuff that comes upon us. So like if you can imagine like being around like some beautiful women, like I went through a place where I used to work, and there's some beautiful people that I know from back in the day that I didn't. I worked with them before, and they're beautiful, you know, and they're like, but they're like ladies, you know, so they're like sitting around like a break room, like talking about like stuff that lady would talk about, but they're yet beautiful the whole time. And it's like as a man, you would think that like okay, so it's all good, like I can let my guard down and enjoy being around like some beautiful women. But you imagine like back in the day, like you would have been like comfortable around like some beautiful women like in a tribal setting, but then like this and that happens, and then that shit starts to get hot. And then like as beautiful as they are, they're also keen to like to enjoy like a good showdown, because like according to like the mixed martial artist stylebender Israel Adesanya, he was saying that like a lot of people, they like sports and entertainment and rock and roll, but anywhere you go, that shit goes down, and that shit goes down, and people are all eyes and all in, and they're like, damn, did you see that? Oh, what happened? Ooh, watch that one. Man, man, he got messed up, man. And I don't, did you hear it? Oh, that boy got messed up. And but people like that stuff, so like, so I could be like, call, I'm a male. I identify as a man. But like, I'm not looking for. I got sure and a hell of a lot of stuff that's on my ass, so I'm not looking for more than I can handle, which is I already got more than I can handle. But you get in a situation, you gotta account for yourself in a situation, and like all the like, and then everyone that you love and that's so cool to be around, they're all ears, and they want to be, they want, are you not entertained, are you not entertained? I'm getting my ass kicked. are you not are you not entertained? But it can go down like that, and so we all got different duties that we got to bear. So I want to say that everyone, man, woman, child, the world over, has their own difficulties, but also their own strong suits, and maybe a little bit of their own like comforts and conveniences. So I'm just thinking a little bit about like contrasting like societies, like because my father's from Africa, and he had to go through a lot to study in the United States. He was, and there they go to high school, like boarding school, a little bit later than other people. So he was already a lot of a man, both from his experiences like growing up like on reservations and in hardship, but also just like he was a little bit older than a normal high school student when he was yet in high school, boarding schools in high school where they were. And he had like, they're in Southwest Africa, and their teachers, a lot of them were like of German descent. So they had some of, if you can imagine, like stereotypical German discipline and attention to detail. That's a lot of what my dad describes, and he's actually better off for it, because to this day, if he has an appointment somewhere, he'll be up an hour and 45 minutes early, hopping in a shower and taking as much and taking as much time as he needs to clean up just right in that shower. And he's gonna go there dressed to the nines, even if it's for like a flu screening or a flu shot. He's gonna be dressed to the nines, and he's gonna be smelling like it, and he's not gonna wake up late for nothing, for nobody. But that's part of what he got like that. But then on top of that, he was outspoken, and he was active like in like organizing things against like what's called apartheid, which was like a version of Jim Crow in Africa, as brutal and lethal as what was experienced in the United States. Different but equally as lethal and heinous and atrocious, is what was overcome, and it didn't get settled. It didn't get overcome until like maybe the late 80s, early 90s, for the region where my father's from, and the aftermath and the skewing of opportunities and resources and equity is still a lot in place. Where even the United States, you might say that the actual the dispersion of wealth and opportunity and privilege to enjoy life and further life, is a lot similar as it always been. If you just go by the numbers, whatsoever homage we pay, or civil rights we understand ourselves to have, a lot of the implicit balances, or the economic balances that would be justice and injustice, are still yet settled, as much as like we pay homage to different things and fancy different things. But some people might feel a different way about that. I don't mean to take a stance on that. If you think there's a better or worse, I stand down if you think that. But all I meant to say is that, but my father, he was active like that, and then so he actually had people of high rank in his where he's from, withstanding in roles that were out to get him, to obstruct him from migrating. As difficult as it would already be to migrate, he had yet active, intelligent opposition in the form of professional, organized, high-ranking professionals. And then my dad was telling me, like, some of them, he said one of them was like trying to like break his balls, like when it, like, so where are you trying to go over here? And you're gonna come back. You're not gonna make it over there. And I can't wait till you fail. And he said there's this other dude that had like some weird stuff going on with his face, and he wasn't saying nothing. And my dad's like, yeah, you could tell he just got back from hurting people wherever, because they actually had like conflicts going on back then. So my dad was like, yeah, he just knew what that guy was about by the scars on his face and him not saying nothing. So that's the kind of stuff my dad got up against. And then he gets to the United, but he came through that with some of the manly things he did in standing up for himself and other people at a young age in high school. That was acknowledged by some of the staff at those schools, and they put in a word for him, and he got an opportunity, like with the church, the Lutheran Church of the northern United States. They supported him, and they had a ticket and a stipend and some scholarship earmarked for him, waiting, understanding that he was going through a lot of intelligent opposition. And then so when he got a phone call from, he also knew there were some people in high places that were aware of him on both sides of what's good and bad. And a certain call got made, and it was time for him to go when he wasn't expecting it, but he was yet productive that whole time. He had like jobs in the mining industry, where he actually had a sturdy job that a lot of people were like, what are you doing leaving a job like this? But he saw something bigger, and he didn't want to be complacent somewhere, even of a privilege. But so so he migrated here, and so I was asking him, like, what did he think about like the hazing and like some of your different like groups and like colleges and like your well-to-do students, but also like some of your hazing and stuff like that. And to him, they were just complete spoiled brats. That's how he couldn't understand that as anything but a spoiled brat at that point, because like as much like swag as like the cool people on campus are having, they were just brats in his mind. But I was thinking, like, so sometimes like in not modern society, you have like a lot of like music that emulates like African drums. Like a lot of like, you hear like a lot of music now, and you hear that drum anywhere you go, that bass, but that's actually a little bit like African war drums is what that's replicated on. But I think that some of it is more so just like stimulating and bolstering the consumer lifestyles in the West that have actually amount to dog eat dog. So actually our consumer, it's actually dog eat dog, just to go get something to eat with your friend, with like some pretty attractive people on a weekend night. You go out to a venue, and it's a little bit dog eat dog, and it's already a competition up in there. And I pointed out another video that my understanding is that any conflict, like were you deployed somewhere, or were you embattled somewhere or garrisoned somewhere, whether as maybe a rebel or a state sanctioned venue, you would always have at least two forms of conflict, because you have infighting in anything. So you would have the enemy you can recognize without, and the enemies that you may not recognize within. That would be your actual brothers. Because you can't turn the fighting on and off like that. And and actually the jealousy would be more so on your side, your brothers. And the jealousy is the more lethal thing, I think, because it knows more, it has more intel on you, and it's just more it's more personal. So you might actually be up more against your and now that's what we have, like where we live in the West, where it's like you're fighting against kinsmen. Like you have like a lot of like music and entertainment that's promoting like violence within and among your countrymen, your kinsmen. And it's maybe part of that we always have dual fighting like that. And since some of the stuff isn't going on the same abroad, overseas, it's coming back to the chickens come home to roost, as Chris Hedges would say. But you have like what's like war drums, but it's like more so just stoking fratricide, countrymen on countrymen, brother on brother, almost like civil war, but along like consumerism, like for the sake of like consumerism. But all I meant to say is, like, if you actually got around some people, like, but it's like meaning, so it's like driving down the road saying fuck you, I'll fuck you up, don't look at me wrong, I'll fuck you up right now, I'll fuck you up, is coming out the window, and you haven't even met someone. But if you met some dangerous people from like Africa, that from back in the day, like what my dad tells you about, they'd be friendly. Like there's like some dangerous people trying to get over on someone. They'd be like, oh yeah man, I got I'm your best friend, man, I got this deal for you, man, and it's like it's all good, man, you don't even gotta worry about nothing, man, just come with us, man, we got something good for you, man, it's all good, man, because yeah, and I like what you got on too, man, that's cool, man, I rock with that. and then you get effed over. That's the difference between like some real cunning stuff and like some like materialism stuff. But I support peace, man, and I stand down.